Thank you for coming on into the live and sharing your essence with me in this eternal moment of which we all share an inextricable and inexorable part. Thank you for doing your part, for coming on each and every day, and we'll do the same without wasting a single second of your time. Bada bing, bada boom, we go into the charts. 2 12-hour candles later, and we are up a little bit from where we were last time, starting to bounce off of some liquidity. And which liquidity pool was that? Well, let's go ahead and look at that in high block capital. What is high block, you say? Well, people lock their liquidity into the charts to get burned to a crisp by the market maker, and we get to see where those crispy characters lie in wait and or got burnt to a crisp for not using a stop loss. So let's go do that now. So coming down to that 352 million at 27,205 to finish off that character in this vector candle up here. The 25 extras got liquidated and they bounced off their liquidity.
Fatality.
And now we are retracing up into the 100x and 50x that was induced as we dropped at 27,376. Those guys were liquidated, as were their 50x partners in crime at 27,661.
Fatality.
And the imbalance to 3,260,000,000 is still being requited in short liquidity up to the 100x pool at 27,819. Yeah. So do we fade from here? Do we continue higher? There is still some 50 extras up at 28,157 to grab. Let's go expand our vision to the higher time frame pools. Shout out to everyone here. How's it going? Chocolate ice cream, cream cheese bagel here. Pardon me. On the 7-day time frame, we have this imbalance to the downside to requite down at 27k and below. Gotta turn on the max liquidity here. Imbalance to recover down below is still a high possibility on the 7-day. Monthly also doesn't have much to reclaim up here. About 5 billion up in the 28k range, and then tapers to come below. Imbalance sub 26k on the monthly. This also is doubled up by the imbalance on the 3-month and 6-month, which we've been going over for some time now. 176 billion at 24.3. If you expand to the 2-year, that large imbalance becomes 261 billion at 23.6. So coming down to that region does not seem strange at all to me. And we went over yesterday the larger narrative. Even if we come up to here, this could all just be a big B wave coming down to a C down here on the 3-day. We talked about how the 3-day was potentially getting oversold, or overbought rather. But ultimately coming beneath this 236 on the 3-day, this impulse retrace for this larger 236 level to get negated at 27k would be your guide for that short idea. And then stepping into the daily. And below, we left everything as is just to prove a point. So even though we did not come down from this region, it does not negate the idea. I've been told that trash consolidation equals B wave, so this could all just be one big B wave to continue down to here as well. Interesting thing was we came up to that pool within this vector candle to a T, rejected, coming back to it a second time. We'll remove this just for now, but this could just be making its way down at some point. Let's go ahead and throw a Fibonacci on this impulse. Came back to that pool. That pool was requited, so this one can be deleted, as was this. Next pool was, we already took from before, was up here. Next pool down here is down at this 786 level. And let's throw on the momentum and see what's up. Boom. What is this stuff? This is the link in the description, momentummaster.info. Scroll down to features, toggle everything at your leisure, or hit each component as it comes into prominence, like the trend cloud or the baselines. Okay. So starting to see this little mini ABC here. As we reclaim the cloud here on the hourly. Okay, so money flow coming beneath the RSI here on the daily time frame. Could be closing out the daily strong. 41 minutes left for that. This would bring your KD lines up to curve up for a double top scenario. We are coming up into the weighted moving average, previous rejection off the adaptive. Are we going to get a rejection off this weighted and start to come back down here? Once again, the liquidity on the 1 minute, you have some 50xers up in the range of the 28157 region. Let's go ahead and add that there. 28157, 28157. Close enough. So this is why we add these levels, that they hit this one and they hit the last one before, so that they hit this 28157 character. There are $200 million up there in the tune of 50xers, so they are stacked quite nicely. So coming to that 200 million plus at the 28157 region could be on the card, in the cards. Also another second hit to the adaptive on the daily. Daily double top scenario could be inbound. Let me go ahead and make this smaller. Also, 22 hour, let's go check it out. 22 hour also looking to insinuate a KD cross to possibly come back up. Money flow beneath the RSI here, also starting to possibly flow back in. Holding the baselines have yet to cross down. Same here on the 12 hour, have yet to get a cross down event. Could be squeaking in some extra squeeze up to the upside here, so we could come all the way up to these regions. This would be a deep retrace to the 706 from this impulse. 12-hour time frame, also insinuating KD cross continuation. 6-hour reset here, and possibly trying to make a 6-hour play with a 4-hour support idea. money flow beneath the RSI as well. We are reclaiming this cloud. We talked about if you fail out of the cloud, this could be A, B, C to the downside. But so far with this vector candle, we have reclaimed the cloud of the clan McLeod. So we could continue this higher to the tune of 28,151 as of this moment. And still be in a larger structure that is ultimately bearish. So let's go ahead and move this up here. Holding the 4-hour cloud here. One hour. 1 hour already did its thing with reclaiming the cloud, coming back up, cloud shifting in a manner here. Steady 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hours of upside. After the London handoff, how does Asia take it? Does Asia pump it up to dump it? That's what they're in for a lot of the times. Let's go look at the oscillator overbought on their money flow beneath the RSI, insinuating you could continue higher. A lot of the money flow beneath the RSI for a sleeper push to the upside. Reclaimed the cloud, pushed up, broke the cloud, came back up, reclaimed it, pushing higher. Cloud steadily bringing itself up here on the 15. Move this, make this smaller even. So look at this impulse to the downside. You can see a golden pocket retrace coming into a fair value gap as we drop down here. This little bit of happiness after we drop down here is a fair value gap on lower time frames. If we switch to like a 2-minute, for example, you're going to see a bunch of 2-minute candles dropping down here. Now, if you don't know what a fair value gap is, you can use this fractal break imbalance fair value gap liquidity void indicator, and it will automatically draw those for you. For some reason it's not drawing it now. Weird. Well, it should be drawing it now, but it's not. What it would be drawing a box around this candle here. And you're looking at the wicks to the left and wicks to the right of that candle, and that will give you your fair value gap. And if you don't know where liquidity is, you don't know about high block, you would see that there's a trade traded down here with no trading up. So basically from here, this oops, that was a fair value gap too, but we're looking up above here. So these candles here have fair value gaps inside. So basically from this region, 28,286, all the way down to the golden pocket, this whole region was a fair value gap where that liquidity got paid without experiencing any drawdown. So they come back to requite the void, if you will. And that is what they would call a fair value gap recovery. So coming back into some of this candle could be on the radar. Let's go ahead and look at the total. Basically going sideways. Idiot boxing. So when you get into these boxes here, basically B continuation wave into a C, a B consolidation wave into a C expansion. So we have expansion, consolidation, expansion. Of course, you can have expansion, consolidation, reversal, but most likely it plays out in a continuation to the downside. So looking at this trash consolidation as a B consolidation into a C continuation idea at some point would be more reasonable to think. So coming back and coming down like this. Where does the B stop? Same as Bitcoin, it can come up to there and then come down again. Looking at total in much less of a healthy state. We're not even coming above the range here. This is just an idiot box in general. Came down here, you can come up to there and then basically continue higher down. BTC. The dominance getting a little bit of a burst here. We're talking about possibly coming up to that region at above 50%. We are. And the USDT dominance starting to come down here as people invest their USDT into trades. Sideways action. If it goes up from here, if it comes down to here and comes up to here, people invest their money and then get kicked out into USDT. Narratives lining up with that. We got the retrace slightly on the dollar, possibly continuing higher. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Levels to watch up here above. Continuation wave pattern alpha for the $3.2 billion in short liquidity up in the top of this range at 28,157. $200 million up in this arrow here. Do we come up to this golden pocket and see a rejection or not? That is the question. And we will bid you adieu with that. I have to get ready for my early start for the day, but doing our due diligence every day. Thank you for coming on into the live and sharing your essence with me in this eternal moment of which we all share an inextricable and inexorable part. Thank you for doing your part, for coming on in each and every day. We'll do the same. We'll catch you for NQ Futures live for New York Open.